Greetings, everybody. Happy 2020. Welcome back. Great to see you all. Thanks for coming along. How's everybody doing? All right. Thumbs up, rested, well-fed, and ready to keep kicking. Cool. Happy to see everybody. Yeah, love it. Sandra. All right. Cool. Okay, everybody. Of course, there's tons to talk about regarding all the delicious things we've eaten over the break, which we can definitely share. Or if you have photos, go ahead and drop that in the class cafe, ask your questions here section. If you want to show what your spread was like, go for that. It's always fun to see people's treats. And yeah, welcome back. Let's keep this year going. Keep this year going strong after the first week and totally knock it out of the park. You guys are halfway done, which is fantastic. And then we're gonna be moving on soon after to externship. You'll have another course after this, but just making sure that you are on track for all of that. Briefly, if anybody, I'm just gonna pull this up the class page because week 6 is a little weird with the potato thingamabob, right? We got a German potato salad, as well as the potato skins. So you still have time to submit those if you have not yet. So let's just pull that up so everybody is on the same page and get all that knocked out, because knowledge checks and assignments will be due this Friday at 11:59. So here it is, all on week 6, right? That's it. That's your information. You need just one photo to show us what you got, and that's good. Does anybody have any questions, those who have completed it or have not yet completed it? Any questions regarding the week 6 assignment? Or anybody that made it and loved it over break, which hopefully somebody did. Some so-sos, okay. Chef Greg, anything that you've seen so far with what we've received in?
No, a lot of good photos of potato salad. Just please remember to get those in. It looks like about 25 of you have it in already. Thank you for doing so. And then please, if you have not, get that in as soon as you can.
Yeah, definitely don't want to miss that one out. Oh, sorry, Chef.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just have one more note. And for week 6, because it's just that one photo, I'll just put a note in there like Happy New Year's or hope you had a great break or something. Nobody will have an actual video attached to this one, but you will for week 7, 8, and then ongoing.
Yeah, and crazy to miss out on this one. This is as easy as it gets for knocking it out of the ballpark with an acer on this assignment, right? You have to submit one photo, knock it out, get that 100 added into your grade. Never hurts to have an extra hundo in there. All right, cool. Well, then let us move on to 2020. All right, let's leave 2019 in the dust and let's start talking about some good stuff. This week we are learning about offal. Does anybody know? Oh, Jason, sorry, I'm gonna cut off before I did. I just saw that hand up. Jason, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, you guys? How was your Christmas?
It was good, thank you. And how was yours?
Yeah, it's something I don't want to talk about right now.
Okay. Well, we can talk about it later.
I heard Chef Greg say something about attaching a video. Now,
no, there will be no video. Chef Greg is just going to give you a simple, straight back feedback of Happy 2020. Let's rock and roll. No feedback on this assignment because it's only one photo.
Yes, man. I thought maybe there was a new part of the assignment that I kind of might have missed, because that's where I just thought maybe he was saying, if you want, you can do a video and attach it. But
no. All you need is the one single photo, and you're golden.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you're all good. Cool. All right. So, moving into offal. Offal. Offal is not awful. Does anybody know what offal is?
Can I speak?
Yeah, you can raise your hand. You can ask. Yeah, what's up? What is offal? What do you think offal is?
Well, I know what offal is, but it does look like awful. I grew up on a ranch, so that's any internal organ that you can utilize, the cow tail, the cow tongue. My mom used to trick us. She would cook it while we were at school and then slice it and told us it was roast beef. We fell for it. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. You're completely and totally right. Offal does relate back to the innards, organs, and anything really, pretty much everything that's left after you take the main muscle and bone components out, okay? What do we have left? We've got brain, kidney, liver, tongue, eyes, tails. What else do we have? Intestines, kidneys, stomach. The list goes on and on and on and on. Heart, glands. It doesn't stop, actually, okay? Now, why do we think that all of those extra parts of the animal are important when we talk about sustainability?
Waste not, want not.
Bingo. You got it, Dawn. Exactly. If we were to throw out all of those innards, all of that precious organ meat, those wonderful, nutritious pieces of the animal, and throw them away and not use them, guess what? That meat you just bought is going to be really expensive. Okay? Just added to the cost of the weight of the pig or the cow or the chicken. Who's ever made gravy from the inside? You know, you get your turkey or your chicken, you pull out the gizzards, the liver, the heart, the neck, and make a gravy. Yeah, I see Lorenzo's done that, right? Okay, so now that's one utilization right there of offal. Who's ever had chicharrones? Anybody had that crackling pig skin or chicken skin, fried chicken skins, cracklings?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Skin would normally be thrown out, right? Guess what? Fry it up. It's delicious. It's crunchy.
Amazing.
Sorry, what was that?
It's amazing. Add some barbecue spice to it. Yeah.
It's amazing. Intestines. Who's had sausages? Who's ever had a sausage with natural casing? Natural casing? Yeah, okay. Guess what? True sausage, right? You've got intestines. You've got feet of intestines. They get cleaned out, properly cleaned, right? And then you use that as your stuffing. What happens when you use real intestines? You have a nice good snap. That snap on the sausage, that's what it comes from, the intestines. Guess what? There are like probably upwards of 30 plus different types of offal located in various animals. Yeah, Lorenzo.
Have you tasted menudo?
I have. I'm actually going to show some photos of menudo soon, one of my favorites.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's get into that really quickly. I'm going to show you guys some visuals, okay, to start wrapping your head around, because we're talking about crazy stuff to some people. Maybe people are thinking, hey, what are you talking about? Kidneys and liver and stomach and brain. Guess what, though? Waste not, want not, like Dawn said. This is utilization, farm to table, sustainability at its finest. Full utilization. There's a reason why it's called nose to tail. You're using everything. Nothing goes to waste. Guess what also? Every single culture around the world utilizes offal. Always has, always will. With different spices, different techniques of cooking. That's going to be really important when we get into offal. How and why you prepare certain types of offal in specific ways. What do you do with liver or intestines or feet or gizzards? All right, let's take a look at some delicious food really here. So get excited. One of the most talked about pieces of offal is foie gras. Does anybody know what foie gras is? Yeah, we got some yeses. Awesome. Foie gras, for those of you who do not know, is the fatty liver of a goose or duck. Okay, this is traditionally comes from region of France, southwest France, and they fatten the liver and you get this incredible lobe. And let's see, let me just get it. Boom. So we're talking about a fatty liver that basically can be elevated and served in extremely high-end fine dining restaurants. Look at the presentations we have here. This is not some, lowbrow food, okay, which sometimes people associate offal with. Offal is actually extremely nutritious and extremely versatile and offers flavor profiles that most muscle meats cannot offer. Okay? So really, I mean, look at this. You can make terrines. You can make pate. To get this one, for example, a nice seared piece of foie gras over here, you have to get really high heat in your pan to get this, because foie gras is so fatty that if you don't get a quick sear on it, it's going to melt away. Okay, you can, and foie gras is quite expensive, so you don't want that to happen. Okay, so if you ever see foie gras on a menu, give yourself a chance and spring for it, because once you have that and you understand the texture and the flavor profile, you might be quite amazed. It pairs wonderfully with this is the actual lobe. This is what it looks like. You separate it and take out different membranes and the little fatty area in the center. But that's what the fatted liver looks like. Now, foie gras has been outlawed in a few states, and it is supposed to go. What is it, Chef Greg? NYC next year or in 2 years, outlawed foie gras without a fine.
Yeah, which is crazy because Hudson Valley, New York, is where most of all of our country's foie gras comes from. So it's interesting that the state that provides it the most is outlawing it.
Very interesting. Now, there are some humanitarian aspects behind it, saying, oh, okay, this isn't good for ducks because they're being force-fed. But if anybody has interest in this, I would be happy to share a video on how they're doing it in a very sustainable way. We don't really have time to get into it right now. If we do at the end of the class, we can hop into it. But there are better ways of going about it than what it appears to be. So let's keep looking. Here are those chicharrones, okay? We've got pork skin or cracklins, made deep fried skin, all right? Menudo, what Lorenzo was talking about, this is made with tripe, okay? As you can see in this photo, tripe, see this honeycomb style ingredient right here? That's the tripe, okay? Now this is what tripe looks like raw, right here. Okay, that's prior to being cooked. As you can see, you can buy it at many markets in almost every other country. You have to dig a little bit deeper in the US because offal is not as prominent in the US as it is in other countries. Okay, so if you're ever looking for offal, highly suggest going to ethnic grocery stores and markets or butchers, because you're gonna have a better chance of finding random products like tripe or liver as opposed to going to your main big grocery store. Walmart will carry livers and a few things, maybe a tongue every once in a while, but this is tripe, and this is delicious when properly cooked. It's very delicate in the sense that you have to work with it, right? This is not just something that you cook and you're eating it immediately. A lot of tripe is going to be found in different types of soups, stews, as well as, here's another one, trippa alla fiorentina. You all just came from cuisines of Italy. Guess what? Here's another tripe dish, hailing from Florence. You're gonna find tripe is extremely popular worldwide. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, this is another one. Who is from the East Coast and knows what scrapple is or heard of scrapple? Anybody? East Coasters? Chef Greg is probably fairly familiar with scrapple.
I live in Delaware, so it's everywhere.
What would you like to share with us about scrapple, Chef?
Scrapple is like a more in-depth flavor of Spam, I would say.
There we go. I like that.
Same process to make it. A little bit softer on the texture. It's not as kind of like that spongy, rubbery. The color is very off. It's just straight gray, like just straight gray. But Pennsylvania, absolutely. Pennsylvania Dutch is where it really started. But It is everywhere in Delaware and to all of Pennsylvania.
Indeed it is. And it is pork trimmings and then usually some either buckwheat flour or corn flour that's mixed in to make a mash and a loaf. So again, we're taking trimmings. We're taking the all fall, offal, right? That was kind of where the word may or may have not translated from Old English, meaning you slit down the carcass and everything that falls out, offal, all fall. All right, that's it. So that's going to be some trimmings and random other stuff. Who here's ever had a hot dog, by the way? I wanted to ask anybody. Who's ever had a hot dog? Can I get a raise of the hands? Yeah? Has anybody not had a hot dog? Right. So, until somebody, did I get a no? Somebody can't eat them. Okay, but did you once eat them? Maybe a yes, maybe a no.
Yeah, I tried it once, and I got sick.
Are you a vegetarian?
Oh, God, no. For some reason, I can't have hot dogs at all, but I can eat bologna.
Okay, okay, good. Bologna, same thing.
There.
Perfect.
You're
Perfect. There. Okay, you're there. You're in the group. Don't worry. Basically, what I'm getting at, everybody, is guess what? A lot of these products that we're eating that we think, again, it's like, whoa, internal organs, what's going on? Guess what? That's in your bologna. Those are in your hot dogs. That's the casing of your sausage. That's hidden inside of so many different products that you're not even aware of it, actually. Okay, you've been eating offal since who knows, unless you're a hardcore vegetarian. So on that note, why am I bringing that up? I want to bring that up because as a chef, it is extremely important to cook everything and anything. You must know how to prepare ingredients that you may or may not like or enjoy. Now, of course, if we're talking about an allergy, I'm not talking about that, right? If you're allergic to seafood, I'm not going to have you breaking down lobsters and crabs, okay? But if there's fried chicken liver, wonderful, great, cheap and affordable and tasty appetizer, and you say, oh, I don't eat that. Well, guess what? As a chef, you have to know how to cook it, know how it reacts. What do you have to do to liver to make it more palatable? Guess what? Liver really does well after soaking it in milk or a dairy product. Okay, remember, a lot of these organs have been processing many different functions, right? The liver detoxes our body, so it's constantly running, okay? It's also an organ. It has a lot of blood that's going through it, minerals, vitamins, okay? You have to take out some of that minerality and that iron flavor. You take liver and you soak it in buttermilk or milk. This draws out some of that extra blood and extra flavor. You'll see in this recipe that we're going to do how the color of your dairy product changes after soaking it in liver. Okay, let's talk about it. Guess what? Oh, liver and bacon, liver and onions. These are all classic dishes that are eaten. Hearts, tongues, the list goes on. I'm going to show you a few more photos, and then we're going to keep on ticking. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. Chicken feet, not just for stock, ladies and gents, not just for stock, although it does add a lot of great gelatin. Remember, gelatin and collagen, that's what gives body to stocks, sauces. It gives you that lip smackingness when you eat chicken feet. Chicken feet are so popular, and it's actually pretty funny. They have a nickname for street food in the Philippines called Adidas, like the shoe for running, okay? I think that's pretty comical. But oftentimes it'll be braised and then grilled, or braised and broiled. Just if you ever get the opportunity to do it, check it out. It's definitely a different texture. Your fingers are literally going to stick together. That's how gelatinous and sticky it is. But they're wonderful. And many cultures are using them and eating them. Let's see what else we have going on here. Oh, yeah. Here's another one. I wanted to bring this up because this is a little bit different. Utilization of offal. For those who know or don't know, oftentimes there's a requirement of clarification, okay? You need to clarify wine or beer, meaning you're taking out that cloudiness or sediment. Guess what? Dried swim bladders of fish are often used, okay? It's a form of collagen. Collagen is also using for clarification. Who remembers what Let me pull this back up. Who remembers what consommé was? Does anybody remember consommé from early on and reading about soups and stocks? Consommé. No? Okay. Highly suggest looking up consommé tonight. You can look it up in your Gislin book. But essentially, it is making us, we all remember when we made stock, right? And sometimes you might have a little bit of a cloudy stock or not totally translucent, right? Means the stock may or not have been properly fully cooked. But in order to create a crystal clear stock, okay, where no cloudiness, no impurities are in there, it's called consommé. C-O-N-S, let me just put that in there. 2 M's, consommé. So in this process, you would take, you'd be making stock, but then you also make a raft, which essentially has ground beef, egg whites, et cetera, some other flavorings, and that pulls out everything, okay? It clarifies this remaining stock. That's exactly what these swim bladders are doing for the wine. That collagen, it's basically acting as a strainer, it pulls it out, and now you have a clear drink or a clear stock, consommé. So these products have been used for years and years and years without us even knowing it, okay? It's part of the process, it's a part of utilization, it's part of sustainability. Now, what is so important about offal and product usage is that, guess what? It is trending. Something that went totally out of fashion on menus is now back and kicking butt. You go to any farm-to-table restaurant, casual restaurant, you're gonna see some type of offal, whether it be pate, some charcuterie, liver, tongue, ears. Pickled pig ears that are used in Chinese cuisine are absolute heaven. Spice it up right, you get a really interesting texture. It's incredible. Really, offal is all about texture. Textures, and technique. Yeah, Dawn. You're muted. Shoot.
When you
Okay.
go to brand your calves and you get the bull calves,
Yes.
you take off the testicles.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. And
then what are they called? Rocky Mountain. Yeah,
Mountain
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yep. And if not cooked right, really bad. Deep fried, breaded and deep fried, really good.
Exactly. So that's a perfect example of how certain types of offal must be prepared in a certain way. Bull testicles, bread them and deep fry them. All right. Foie gras, liver, soak it in milk, sear it off. Okay. Intestines, what's the cleaning process? Brain, how can that be handled? Chef, any favorite offal dishes you want to talk about?
I was gonna show the make sure I have it set up. I was gonna show the moose lips.
Yeah. All right.
Because we talked about that in the last.
Yeah, we do.
Let's see. So these are moose lips. There's a place in Moscow, Russia. It's called the White Rabbit. It's a Michelin star restaurant, and they kind of started using this the most. Is they get the moose lips, they cook it, they grind it, and they make raviolis out of it. So that's definitely a unique one. There is, of course, offal for seafood as well. Crab butter. Crab butter is the inside of the crab. You take off the top of the shell, you see it's yellow, a little bit of greenish. Same thing with lobsters. This orange is actually some eggs. This is the eggs on the back, and then all
Chef,
the
do you have a
green and
visual?
orange.
Chef,
What?
do you have a visual? Do you have a visual?
Is it not working?
No, not right now.
It's because we're not sharing the screen. Restart. Okay. Moose
There we
lips.
go.
So this is the moose lips before going through the process. Crab butter. Lobster innards. You do have egg sacs. This is a female lobster, but these innards all edible. And if you're gonna make like a lobster stock, like a lobster bisque, it's gonna add a ton of flavor to it. We didn't talk about blood, but blood, they make soup out of it in Poland. Pig's feet we were talking about in the chat, so I brought that one up. This is a Polish one. After they cook it and braise it, they reduce down the liquid. It has natural gelatin in it, and then they encase the outside in the gelatin. And then we were talking about oxtail a little bit in the chat also, so I just wanted to show a raw oxtail. But another, I mean, if you look into it, there's so many things that have gelatin in it, like gummy bears, Planters peanuts. They put in fast food burger buns, they put chicken feathers. After they produce it, there's a chemical called L-cysteine. And if you put it in a fast food burger bun, that's how when you get fast food, you drive a half hour, you get home, that bun's really nice and perfect and spongy. That's the chemical out of chicken feathers, and that's actually what makes it do that. So there's offal in everything. Makeup, they put they get fat from butcher shops. They put it in makeup. So there's offal in a lot of items.
Which is good because it's not going to waste. On that note, right? It is. It's utilized everywhere. Guess what's really interesting? China. Guess what? We eat a lot of chicken here, right? In the U.S., how many skinless, boneless chicken breasts do you see in that grocery store? Way too many, right? Okay, where do we think all that skin is going? So now, let's say we walk in the grocery store and we see skinless, boneless chicken breast. What do we think has happened to that skin and those bones? What do you think? Trash can. Well, let's hope that it doesn't go there.
Yeah,
okay.
they have to sell it, right, to make a profit.
Yeah.
You have to sell it to make a profit. Exactly, Francisco. Yes, 100%. It is being sold. So it is going to different companies that are then, whether, the bones could be getting compiled and sold to a mass producer of stock. Okay. It could be you can buy chicken bones at a restaurant. Okay. If you're making stock in-house, the skin could be going to make some type of, whether it's actual cracklings, right? That you can buy it at a grocery store, at a gas station. You can buy fried pork and fried chicken skins, right? That's being sold there, or it's being incorporated into different soups or sauces that you're buying in a canned product, or it's going into another type of chicken filler, right? Some type of chicken nugget that's actually not real chicken, that's going to have some fat, it's going to have some chicken content. If you ever look at like how, please check out on documentaries, watch how chicken nuggets, the filling of chicken nuggets are formed, what it takes and what chemicals and processes are getting added to it. We don't show it in class because it's something that you want to research and look on after, because this world of the industry is never ending. It's actually incredible. The utilization, start reading the backs of those labels like we've talked about, because you're going to see parts of animals that you're thinking, wait, what is fabricated or what is it? Machine fabricated chicken? Is that what it's called? I think it's technically called like that. And so that's chicken that's just been hacked up and cut. I mean, just start looking grab a can of soup with chicken in it and see what the ingredients are. See where that chicken is coming from. If it has chicken fat, guess what? That chicken skin and fat is getting rendered somewhere and broken down and sold. So like Francisco said, it's got to go. You have to sell it for profit. So
yeah, it's called mechanically processed, right?
Thank you, mechanically processed chicken. As you can tell, it's been a little bit too long over winter break. I was failing. Thank you. So additionally, you think about where do all those chicken feet go for all those breastless, skinless, boneless breasts of chicken? Guess what? China is huge fanatics of chicken feet. And guess what? Our chickens are huge over here, right? You've seen those size of those chickens in the store. Guess what? Those feet are big too. So Chinese are buying up these huge chicken feet because chicken feet are an important a staple in their cuisine. So think about that, the migration of food, how food is being sold as well. Okay. I've got a few more photos because I want to show you one of the best things. Who's heard of blood sausage or boudin noir? Yeah? Got a few? All right. So this one's really important. Chef Greg was talking about blood sausage, blood soup in Poland. Well, guess what? Blood's being used almost everywhere because guess what? Why would that go to waste? Full of nutrients. And I've got some big news for you after this. I want to show you the blood sausage. There we go. All right. Here we go. Blood sausage, guys and gals. What I want to show you, which is really important, are obviously many different styles, colors, shapes, ingredients that you can incorporate in, whether you're using rice for botifarron, black pudding, boudin noir, okay? All of these things. What's important right up here at the top of this list is what I want to show you. Spanish, Argentina, English, black pudding, Irish, Puerto Rican, Polish, Portuguese. Let's see, does that list keep going? Oh yeah, boudin noir, cooked, Scottish, Italian, Mexican, Korean, Colombian, Estonian, Dominican, Finnish, Hungarian. Every single cuisine, culture, and region is utilizing offal, from blood to bones. Okay? It's really important that you understand that, and that you understand that it's important as a chef to know how to utilize those things, especially if you ever have any interest in doing anything that is sustainable. Okay? In the sense of, hey, how can I be a part of that movement? What I'm going to send out a message later is how offal is trending. I mentioned it before, but it is literally on every single menu. Okay, in a farm to table setting. Okay, so this is what I wanted to really tell you about. That offal is insanely nutritious. It actually has tons of B12. For example, let me pull this up. I'll get you a visual of this. All right. I think it's 100. Let's get it up. There we go. Yeah, a 3.5 ounce, which is not that huge, right? When you think about 3.5 ounces, not that big, which is 100 grams. Portion of cooked beef liver provides 27 grams of protein, 1,300%, over 1,300% of the recommended daily intake of vitamin B12, copper, vitamin A, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin 6, B6, selenium, all these real iron, zinc. These are trace minerals. Some of that selenium and manganese you can also get from other offal. This is really powerful stuff. There's a reason why every culture and civilization has been using it. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions so far on the topic of offal? No? Okay. Is anybody else excited about all the possibilities that you can make with offal? Because it's really incredible. You can transform, you can get textures that you can't get out of meat. All right. Pâtés, which is what we're going to be making this week. Chicken liver pâté. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Chef, was there anything else that you wanted to add?
No.
Regarding offal land? Do you want to talk about head? Okay, we'll talk about head cheese at the end if there's time.
Okay.
It's your favorite.
I know, but I thought
I know, but you always do a great lead up. You always do a great lead up.
I thought you had a better story this week for it.
Okay. Well, now we can't not show this. So,
right.
Does anybody know what head cheese is? Or heard of it?
Isn't it the meat around the face or the head?
Mm-hmm.
The meat around the face and the head. Yeah, you're right. So, how to make head cheese? So remember now, if you think about the face and the head, lots of collagen, okay, is going to be in there. So when you slaughter an animal, what you do is you take that pig's head, right, and you slowly cook it. Remember, how do we get stock that's like Jell-O? Everybody wants stock that's like Jell-O. Remember, that's the goal, right? You want to have nice, powerful, strong stock, because the stronger and more structure your stock has, the better your mother sauces are going to be, the tastier they're going to be, the more viscosity, the more depth, okay, in flavor profile that they will have. The mouthfeel is going to be different with more gelatin. How it feels, how it satiates you is going to be completely different. Collagen and gelatin, okay, that's how it goes. So you slowly cook this head, and what you end up, then you pull out all the pieces of we're talking about jowls and cheeks and around the eyes and everything. You pull those out, you sort that out, get the bones out, and either slice it up or break it up with your hands. And then you take all that liquid right? It's full of collagen and gelatin and those pieces of meat, okay? And you'd probably slice up those ears a bit as well. And that all gets set into a pan, a dish, and it gets cooled. And what you have is a thing called head cheese, or meat and aspic, okay? Essentially, it's an aspic, right? Gelatin. And in Serbia, which I was recently in for the holidays, Eastern European country, it's a dish called pitje, okay? And all it is once again head cheese. So my visual isn't that great. I've got another one I'll send out to you later, but here's a little taste of what this looks like. Again, not the best photo, but something's better than nothing. So this is, I'll give you an overhead spread. This is from the New Year's Day festivities. Can everybody see that? I'm gonna zoom in. All right, so you've got some salad. You've got a lot of roasted peppers with garlic, salad, more different types of cuts of pig, all dried, cured cuts of bacon. And then right here's the pitje, okay? As you can see, I'm gonna show you a close-up or a little bit better one. Let me just get out of this. Let's see how to do this. There we go. And this is, like I said, not the best photo, but as you can see, it is like a Jell-O with meat in it, okay? That is what it is. It is very soft, it's very tender. And you eat it with raw garlic, a little bit of hot pepper, and it's actually quite delicious because it's salty, it's tender. But head cheese comes in many different forms. So, can show you up another visual from each region. Yeah, Chef, you have it?
I was gonna say I got one up.
Perfect.
I got a before and an after. So this is the
Awesome.
before. Chef was talking about the cooking, and then this was what like an after would be. So you have all that gelatin in there. You have all the pieces of meat you picked out, and it looks like a loaf. They cut it. It holds its shape extremely, extremely well. And this is my personal favorite offal. This is the peak of offal for me.
I love it. I definitely think if you are hesitant with offal, my personal gateway entry step is fried chicken livers, because everything that you fry is, going to be good. And chicken livers have a little bit more irony taste. Like think about dark meat amplified. Okay, dark meat has a much different flavor profile from white meat. The liver, even 10 times stronger. But you deep fry that, you make a nice dipping sauce, hot sauce. Delicious. And guess what? Before we get into this recipe, offal is extremely profitable. Ding, 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 ding. Guess why? Offal's cheap. It's inexpensive. Who's buying liver, skin, all the cuts that people aren't using? Who's buying that? Certainly, it does not cost as much as your tenderloins and your breasts and your legs and your chucks and your shoulders, right? So if you can take a product like an offal technique, right, any offal product, and transform it, you can upsell that like crazy. You make pate from things that are normally pretty cheap. You increase that value, you serve it with a nice accoutrement board, and you're selling something for, depending upon the location, $10 to $20 on a charcuterie board for an appetizer. Chicken livers. Buying chicken livers for how much per pound? Selling 8 pieces for $5.99, $6.99, $7.99 with a dipping sauce. Extremely profitable and valuable. All right, let's take a look at what we're making this week. And the class page. All right. All right, let's get in this. All right, so your research materials for this week. This is awesome, by the way, the link for Open Text BC right here. Great list of information. The common offal, okay? This is on your class page. So for different animals, there's different offal that's frequently used. So let's look at this really quickly. For example, beef compared to veal. Veal is young beef, okay? That is a very young cow. Now, we have heart on both, liver on both, kidney on both, tongue on both, brains in veal, and sweetbreads in veal, but no tripe and no oxtail. However, you have tripe and oxtail in the beef, okay? So now you start to think about, okay, so an older animal, you're not using the brains or the sweetbreads. And in a younger animal, you're not necessarily using the oxtail or the tripe. I wonder why. Okay, sweetbreads, thymus glands. Those thymus glands won't have produced as much of the hormones. So it's not going to be they're going to be a bit more gentle in the flavor profile. So that's why if you see sweetbreads, you're going to see veal sweetbreads. If you get a chance to eat sweetbreads, highly suggest it. Again, pork, going into these. Again, you have those common ones. Now, but here you go, pork. It's pork blood. It's not necessarily beef blood that you're using for those boudin, the black sausages, blood sausages. It's coming from pork. Lamb intestines, chicken, heart, liver, gizzard, feet, duck, goose, the liver, the fatty liver, what we were talking about, foie gras. All right. You've got a lot of great information on how to produce these and process them, how to trim them, caul fat, just really good little bit of info here. So don't forget to get into that. Here we go. Now we're back into the regular routine this week, which will be full assignments, your sanitation, mise en place. Let's come back strong. Show us what you got after the winter break. We know everybody rested. Doesn't mean you need to rest on your game. All right. Come back even stronger. Bust out of the gates. All right. Proper mise en place. How many times can we drive this home? Probably too many. Proper mise en place. Everything in its place. That means everything should be weighed out, organized, not in packages. You've got 6 weeks left of this class. When you walk into externship in a couple of months, no chef's going to want to see you not prepared. Okay? Doesn't want to see you with a box of sugar on your station or a bottle of vinegar. Have everything ready to go. You need a vinaigrette? Your vinaigrette better be ready. All right. Now, we can go over these required photos in a second. I want to pull up these recipes. Something really important to take note of. This needs to be stored. This is a 3-day process. So start it in 2 days. Start it on Friday, so you're ready to rock and roll for next Tuesday. You're going to trim fat and sinew from the liver. Salt it and let this soak in milk overnight. Again, we talked about this earlier. It's going to draw out some of that harshness, mellow out the flavor of the liver. Then we're going into standard. Saute that onion. Don't brown it, okay? Add the livers, okay? You want to drain and rinse those, and then herbs and spices. Go into that brown a little bit, but you still want to keep some tenderness, slightly pink in the center. You don't want to overcook this. You're going to get a really different texture when you overcook liver. You want to keep it soft, okay? Not fully hard cooked. Let those cool, grind them in a food grinder, in a food processor or a grinder. Blender will work. Anything like that, you can do it. Add cream cheese, uniform paste, and then adjust with the optional ingredients. Pack that pate into small containers for serving, or larger if you're not going to do it into small things. And that needs to chill overnight so that we can then see the texture the next day on the spoon. A few things to note. If you were a busy beaver in the kitchen and you cooked a whole lot of Christmas cookies and you're out of ginger and cloves and nutmeg, okay, or whatever the reason, if you don't have those, you can omit them. Will it take away from the flavor of the pate? It most certainly will. Those are there to add different complementary flavor profiles to your finished product. However, you don't have them for some reason, you can omit. Be sure to note that on your assignment. But if you have them, you're going to want to use them. These spices really accentuate the pate and help round it out. Again, brandy or Madeira or port, if you have it, would be lovely to add. It actually adds a little sweetness, a hint of raisin, just a great flavor profile. But again, you do not need to go out and buy a bottle of this if you don't. Maybe you have some left over from the holidays. Throw a little tipple in there, all right? And we really want to see those important steps of how it's set, because we actually can tell if it is set or not based on the photos alone.
Also,
anybody have any questions on the process? Yes, chef.
Also, the soaking.
Yes.
You want the milk the next day. You want the milk to be very pink, because you can tell it's drawing out the iron and some of those impurities in the blood. It actually will draw those out, and you'll have pink milk from the blood in there.
Exactly. And you'll have a much better end product. That's the most important. Your end product is going to be better when you take the time and say, hey, guess what? Offal, there's a reason why offal is offal. Offal usually needs to be cooked for a long time or prepared for a long time. There are multiple steps to prepare offal perfectly so that you get a good end result. Let's hop into these crackers and see what's going on here. All right. This is really simple and straightforward. You're going to make some basic crackers, and it's going to go perfectly with your pate. Make sure you preheat that oven. Otherwise, really simple. Sift those ingredients, add it. It's going to be a little bit tacky, the dough. Roll it out. Important thing when you are doing the crackers, as you can see, once you've let it sit, you want to let it sit for about, 30 minutes to an hour, right, chef?
Yes.
Found best. Let it rest a little bit. Just like when you made pasta, let the dough rest. Let it rest a bit. And you'll cut that dough into whether your strips or whatever, circles, whatever you want to do with a knife. This is where it gets important. Prick the crackers with a fork. This is called docking. D-O-C-K-I-N-G. Docking is a baking and pastry term where that is going to allow for your crackers to stay straighter and have some escape for the air pocket, so you don't get a bunch of air bubbles in there. Okay, and then you're going to want to bake that 12 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye on it. Rotate it if you need be. If one side's getting hotter or the other, if the center's not cooking as quickly, you can always rotate them. And then let them cool before you transfer them into a storage container. Chef, anything else that you want to bring up regarding that? Because I know you always have a keen eye on that.
No, just really, not all, but a lot of the coming weeks are going to be things that do take a day, maybe 2 days. We talk about preservation and items like that. So to get the most out of it, to learn the process, give yourself that time. If you try to make pate at 9, 10 o'clock at night on Tuesday, you could get blended chicken livers. It's not going to be nearly the same though. So definitely give yourself the allotted time.
100%. Start early, knock it out. Otherwise, you're not going to get the desired end result. All right. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions? All right. All right, let me just pull this up. You've got your required photos over here. So just we want to make sure we're seeing everything here. Mise en place, dry ingredients for your crackers, dough rolled out, your docking, before cooking and finished cooking. Now, guess what? These crackers and this pate were made to go together. So we'd love to see a little bit of those crackers and pate set up on a board. I would highly suggest also, if you want to try something else, get yourself a little baguette. See if you prefer it on bread instead of crackers. If you drink wine, this is a great opportunity to get yourself a little bottle of red wine and have an interesting dining experience. Okay. I would also say, hey, this is what you want to do. Where is pate found? Pate is found on a charcuterie board. Let's take a look at what a charcuterie board looks like. Because guess what? You can make big money on charcuterie boards at your restaurant. Now, some of these are a little bit extravagant, certainly are, but let's see if we can find one that's a little bit more classic and not as aggressive. This looks like it might have a good attempt. Yeah, not bad. So as you can see here, you've got a variety of crackers, some baguettes, a few dips, some nuts, and then you're gonna have maybe, this looks like prosciutto here, salami, cheese, maybe some pate. All right, pate is a perfect place to put a charcuterie board. In the upcoming weeks, we're gonna be making I'm just looking for a better one, but these are all really, really wild. Some vegetables you might have, okay, on your charcuterie board as well to complement that. But really, we're going to be making pickles in a few weeks, and pickles also complement a charcuterie board. Why do we think that pickles complement a charcuterie board? So a charcuterie board oftentimes has meats, cured, smoked, pâtés, head cheese, cheese itself, nuts, dried fruit, maybe some mustard, dried berries, fresh fruit, crackers and bread, maybe some crudité, raw vegetables as well, depending upon that. Why do we think pickles are going with these meats? What do we think?
It's the same reason as wine.
Any ideas? Remember, no idea is wrong.
It complements the dish.
Yeah, definitely complements this. What does it do with everything that's going on as you taste?
Is it like a palate cleanse, maybe?
Yeah, you're really right on there. The acidity is going to cut that fattiness. Okay, so remember what happens when we eat fat. We stop to taste, and we're tasting mostly fat because our mouth is coated, right? I mean, it's delicious, but you need to cut the fat. Why are pickles put on a fat, juicy burger with cheese and bacon? Because those pickles cut that acidity. Same reason why you have some homemade pickles on a charcuterie board, because you might be eating fatty cheese and pate, and you get a little bit of sharp mustard to come in and cut that fattiness and richness as well. All right, cool. Any questions? Any questions about offal in general, or?
I have a question about the pickles that are coming up.
Yes.
Are they sweet like the last ones we did, or are they going to be like the other type?
They're going to be real pickles. They won't be sweet. Okay. They're actually going to be more salty and vinegar, like a brine pickle as opposed to a sweet pickle.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see. I'm trying to think about what else. Oh yeah, I forgot. The raffle.
I'm gonna go to my next class, but thank you everybody, and I will see you all in a week.
See you later.
Bye, Chef Gregory.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, Chef Greg. Thanks for the warning on the time. All right, class. I was in a daze. I was thinking I still had 10 minutes left. Totally ran past. If you have questions, please reach out. I have a class in 5 minutes. Sorry. Obviously, back to winter break. I don't know what's going on. So, timeline is off. Okay, there's so much fun to learn about offal. Don't be afraid of it. If you are having trouble locating chicken livers, please reach out to me directly. I can try and help knock something down in your area, okay? First and foremost, give Walmart a try if you've got a Walmart in there. Call ahead. Call your local butcher. Do an internet search. Don't go chasing around without calling first to see, hey, do you have it? They might have it in their freezer because they're not selling it enough. check it out. Like I said, you can almost always find it if you don't have a butcher, Walmart, or an ethnic grocery store. We can still get you some. If you can't find chicken livers, you can use beef liver. It will be a little bit different, but just reach out, and welcome back, and catch you next week. Let me know if you have questions. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Chef.
Catherine.
Thank you. Thank you.